Hello everybody today, this is Steve Kelley with Keller Williams, and I am here today with Brad Kelley, no relation, of AnnieMac Home Mortgage. Now Brad is a specialist in a couple of different parts of mortgages and is happy to go over that, but today we're just talking about the pre-approval, so hope everybody's having a great day. We'll talk soon, and we're going to get into the interview with Brad Kelley, AnnieMac Mortgage. Thank you.
So at that point, the next step would be collecting information. So general information we'd need for the pre-approval process is, complete name, social security number, date of birth, things of that nature. Living arrangements for the past 2 years, so where they've lived, if they've rented, how much they've rented for, if they've owned, how much their monthly payment is for that, where they've worked for the past 2 years, including income. A rough breakdown on assets that they have to work with, like we've already discussed. Do they own any other properties? Is there anything credit history we should know about? Bankruptcies, foreclosures, delinquent on federal debt, things of that nature. Once we get that application complete, then the next step is for me to go to work, pull a credit report, and start coming up with possibilities. Pre-approval is driven by monthly payment, and this is the misconception a lot of people have, is they think they're getting pre-approved for X number of dollars. What they're actually getting pre-approved for is X number of dollars per month. And then from there, we try to back into what that means as far as purchase price, down payment, taxes, insurance when it comes to a property. So as the taxes go up on a property, their borrowing ability actually goes down because that monthly payment is driven up by those taxes.
Right.
Then what I like to do is, depending on what the possibilities are as far as down payment, talk about different options. Rural housing, FHA, conventional with more than 5% down. Talk about different options.
Now, this comes up all the time when we look into an FHA. What wouldn't pass FHA?
Beyond just FHA, government loans in general have an issue with chipping paint. Basically, they're looking for no chipping paint because government-driven loans don't want the risk of chipping lead paint. And it's something that, whether it's VA, FHA, rural housing, any of those, they're going to have a problem with that. Beyond that, general things that would be considered health or human hazard issues. Trip hazards on stairs or walkways, missing railings, missing carpeting, holes in walls.
So unfinished cosmetic issues
Yeah,
don't count.
broken windows,
Yep.
Things of that nature. Whereas conventional financing is a little bit more flexible with that. The chipping paint is not an issue with conventional financing as long as the property is still considered at least in fair condition. And some of the other things that are a problem for your government-based loans, are not as much of an issue with conventional.
Now, with conventional, you also aren't dealing with the insurance on that in the same
Mortgage insurance? Mortgage insurance, you're going to see some variation of mortgage insurance on pretty much any loan where you're putting less than 20% down. Conventional, less than 20% down, you're going to have private mortgage insurance, which is handled by a separate entity than the lender. It would be a private mortgage insurance company. FHA has built-in mortgage insurance, an upfront mortgage insurance fee. Rural housing has a funding fee and an annual fee. VA has a funding fee, unless you're exempt from that due to some VA-related disability.
Yeah, okay. And then after that, then they would be basically looking with that price. Now they're okay to go look.
Yep, yeah, that's the point in time when you're going to get an email from me that says, congratulations, here's some example numbers, let's talk them over, but, let's get you out there shopping.
Yeah, because so much of it, the numbers, they may work most of the time, but it also depends on that person's lifestyle as well.
Yeah,
Get to know them.
Exactly. That's the other questions I ask when going through the pre-approval process is, do you have a comfort level? You may be pre-approved to, $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
But if you only want to pay $1,500 because that's what you can handle, then I'm going to give you numbers that would line up with $1,500 a month and what that means. I'll show you the numbers to $4,000, but I'll say, like we discussed, you want to be around $1,500. This is where you want to be looking.
Exactly.
Your other thing that's important is depending on what program you're looking at, the different programs are actually going to point you in direction as far as what you should be looking at. Like you said, some houses won't pass appraisal for certain loan types. Other loans, like rural housing, is limited by the town that you can purchase in. And there's also loan limits associated to some of these programs, things of that nature. Having all those ducks in a row when you start the process is the most important thing because you don't want to be looking at houses that you can't buy. Because the first house you look at you can't buy, you're going to love.
Yeah, it's really that emotional when I'm on the field with people. At first they're so excited to go out and look at a home right away, and then they may even find it, and then they're not set up to make a strong offer. Somebody else was, and they get beat out. Now it's not as fun.
Yep.
So it's important to, before you even start, to really put yourself in a position to win.
This broadcast is brought to you by your host, Steve Kelley. Team Kelley has over 25 years of experience in the New Hampshire and Maine real estate community. Find more information at teamkelley.net. Our investor broadcasts are presented on an informational basis only with the sole intent of engaging, educating, and entertaining our listeners and clients. We do provide an expansive referral base upon request in every part of the real estate and professional services community, as well as local events you will not want to miss. Steve and his guest conversations specifically do not offer legal advice. If you are in need of legal advice, please consult your own attorney and/or real estate professional. Unauthorized copying or editing of the show without the express written consent of Team Kelley is strictly prohibited, all rights reserved. This is Steve Kelley with A Real Look, where we are looking forward to seeing you in the Lakes region and Seacoast.